Come on, get rid of that stupid thing. Oh shit, it was going away and then I did that. Okay. Woo! So we're going to sit around here and wait a while because,
You gonna put mine on?
yeah, I can do that. This is our first live. This could be horrible. Just warning you now. Um, because I'm not 100% sure.
What we're doing?
Yeah, this kind of, and I can't see a phone with my glasses on. I can't see anything without my glasses on. It is what it is. Try to. There, that's a little better. Okay. Do 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 do. Okay.
There, Rusa Jepson. Hi guys.
Hey, there's one of our loyal best subscribers.
We're gonna
So,
be answering some questions tonight.
which could be good, bad, or indifferent. Ah, so we can see it right there. Except for I can't see it with my glasses or without.
Can you read that side?
Yep. Hi, Matthew. So, of course, we've been doing this for about almost 2 years, and thanks to all you awesome subscribers, we finally started making some money on this venture, which I mean it took a while. You now have 232 subscribers. Don't give up. Um, we seem to go from 0 to maybe like 400 in a couple months, and then it took forever. Um, then once we hit 1,000, it's just been like, almost gaining 100 a month.
It really just plays into um, luck of the draw. Really.
But I think the biggest thing is being genuine.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Just close your mind off to what's it called? The algorithm.
Norma, hi Norma.
You're my sweetest girlfriend ever. How you dear heart?
And if you notice I keep doing this is because I can't see without my glasses and I can't see the screen with my glasses. Old age sucks. It's not for wusses.
It's not for
For real.
wusses.
Well, thank you for that. We try. This channel actually started because, uh, as many of you know, we moved from Pennsylvania down to Tennessee. Um, it was a plan of ours that when we retired, this was where we were going, and um, we needed a way to stay in contact with our family, and so that they could see, what we were up to, and um, our parents their health isn't good enough for them to be able to come down and be a part of this. So we wanted to share that with them. Um,
And they always love, your parents want to know what's going on with you.
yeah,
My mom always wants to know what's going on with me, and now she doesn't even have to ask.
right. She's like, I saw you on YouTube. You don't have to call me.
No, no, we got to call her.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we have to stay in contact, and we have to talk to the Lord, and all the good things that you do. When you miss your parents, we really genuinely stay in contact so much better with our children and our parents than
yeah,
we did when we lived an hour away from them.
yeah. That's true.
It's like that. I think we're healthier and clearer in our mind since we don't carry the job that we had with us anymore. We don't. And we worked for an evil establishment
Known as the government.
known as the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, I worked for the Department of Children and Youth, and it was a horrible job. I do not recommend that anybody in Pennsylvania go and apply for anything at that department. Just stay away from it.
Well, when we were able to, the whole purpose when you set out for your life or career, you set out for the best benefits
Yeah,
and to get the most
right.
for for what you can do. So that's what we did. We set out in life, and we worked for the state. We actually worked several jobs at once, both of us.
Right.
We did so many things together. I can't even recall, but well, since you and I have been together, which is 20 years, just about 20
Hmm.
years, um, we moved 7 times in 3 years.
Yeah. And we didn't have nothing. I mean, nothing.
We didn't have television
No internet,
or internet or
cell phones.
no dishwasher, no anything that we only had one car. We both sold our cars
Pay
to
bills.
pay bills.
Yeah, it was rough times back then.
And and since then, we've learned not to live above your means. We've both
Right.
come from previous marriages,
Hmm.
and there's always baggage. And until you clean up all the baggage from the past, then you can actually, move it forward.
Jamie got a higher position. She'll start the end of this month.
Oh, congratulations, Jamie. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Norma. Terrific.
Yeah, she needs to retire early like we did.
Jamie is somebody I met when I worked for the state,
Yep.
and I'm so grateful and thankful for the friendships that I made, and I'm also grateful and thankful for the other lessons that I learned when I worked for the state. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So one of the questions we want to answer questions. So if anybody has any questions, feel free. What part of Pennsylvania are you from? I've been to Gettysburg, but honestly wasn't impressed. Uh-oh, it went away on that screen. It almost felt like I was on a different planet.
Okay, well, so we're from central Pennsylvania. We were about an hour away from State College and an hour away from Harrisburg,
Ish.
ish. And we planned where we lived. We planned it that way. Our county was called Perry County. It was a very rural
Yeah.
part of Pennsylvania. And we planned to live our lives an hour away from at least where we worked and, like city life, like the commodities of living near a city.
Yeah. Now
It's not us.
I grew up in the backwoods of Perry County. Um, uh, I'll share this little joke with all of you.
He's backwoods.
What has 3 teeth and 100 legs? I'll give you a second to think about it. A line at the Perry County Fair. So that's it's where I grew up. Actually, Greenville, Tennessee is a big city to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
So
Yeah, how many did you have in your graduating?
we might have had 90, maybe.
So I don't know how many we had. It could have been maybe 250, 300.
Yeah, it was.
But I was a townie, and we could get everywhere between walking and biking. We could get wherever we needed to go, to a friend's house, to work. It was just a thing. Oh, and talking about Gettysburg, Gettysburg was one of the first places that Lee and I took our families to visit. Gettysburg's free to visit for the most part. The battlefields and stuff, and you could walk around and just read the marquees. So that was great entertainment, and we love history. So that was a jumping point for us and our families in Gettysburg.
Yeah. So Norma asked if we're gonna get chickens again. I hope so. Somebody's being a bully.
I still feel there's too many things that we need to write in our house, in our home, to secure our home before we can secure the property. We still have coyotes coming in,
Yeah.
and that's going to be a problem whether it's secure or not, for where we're at.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and the barn here is about ready to fall down, and I got a lot of work to do.
yeah, and we're not at a place where we have the ability to rebuild with building materials right now.
Hi, Gail.
A lot of people in Tennessee are who have just been through Helene. Now, no, we didn't suffer through any damage
No,
of Helene, but a lot of people are in the same boat. You know, you just don't have the capital to just start rebuilding. You know, it's a process.
right. So, hi, Bobby Joyce. He says, I'm here from South Georgia. We had 46 people in my graduating class. So, yeah,
Okay, so where
that's
we came
awesome.
from in central Pennsylvania is very much well, like what you're talking about,
Yeah,
where he grew up,
yeah, for
and he
real.
was just one county over from where I grew up, which
Yeah,
was Cumberland County, which was a very populated county
yeah.
in
So,
Pennsylvania.
um, Russo Jap 2 asked, what did we think about it? What did we think about Gettysburg or Pennsylvania?
Gettysburg was um, amazing. We love history, so we took the ghost tours. We took every ghost tour. We had ghost stories that we could share with you at some point. I'm sure, you know, man,
Yeah,
there's some real stuff to be said about Gettysburg.
yeah, yeah. Now, Pennsylvania, I don't miss it at all. Norma said we had 9. I went to a private school when I was in 12th grade.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Norm.
And Russo Jap, Gettysburg compared to central Pennsylvania. So like I said, we actually went to Gettysburg a lot. Now, as far as like places to eat, no good. Of course, it was a couple hour drive for us to get to Gettysburg, so it was day trips.
Yeah, it's almost the Maryland border.
Yeah. There was a couple cool places there. Uh, Mr. Ed's Candy Emporium and Elephant Museum. That
That
was
was an excellent. That was
yeah,
an excellent. But these are the things that we've been doing long before we were doing YouTube. We were doing Ma and Pa. You know,
yeah,
we
yeah.
were taking our families to the ones that our families took us to
Everything everything we film on YouTube is stuff we did before,
when we were
and would
raising our kids.
yeah, and would be doing even without the
Yeah, yeah,
camera.
we're actually not doing anything different
Right,
because we have a YouTube platform.
right. I mean, we might not go out quite as often as we do now,
No, we
but
certainly wouldn't go out to eat as much as we do, but you know, it's included in our budget to do so.
hmm.
You know, just to enlighten our viewers.
Did you go to Dirty Billy's Hats? I used to know him. I can honestly say, nope, I've never heard of Dirty Billy's Hats.
No, but it sounds fun.
Yeah,
Next
it
time we
does.
go back through Pennsylvania, we'll have to look. I have to write that down. Dirty Billy's hats. Is that on your way to Gettysburg? I'll look it up then. So anyway, we got
But one of the questions we were asked, and I really wanted to talk about this, was how we met, which is kind of it's nothing super romantic. It was in downtown Gettysburg.
huh, we'll have to look it up when
Yeah.
we go.
Um, so it all started one magical evening when I was at work. When I first started working for the state of Pennsylvania, I worked in the liquor store. Uh, in that state, the state runs all the liquor stores. None of them are privately owned. And a beautiful lady came in.
Because I had a roommate.
Mhm.
I had a roommate who was turning 21. Neither one of us drank. I had just had my oldest daughter move out, and I was having a little bit of empty nest, even though I had 3 other children. But I had a little bit going on. Um, and so my oldest daughter moved out. Um, Another friend of mine just moved in. She's 21, turning 21. And we worked right beside
Yeah,
this,
the liquor store was attached to the grocery
the
store.
state liquor store. Yeah.
Yeah. So they came in got their alcohol, left.
We had
Um,
no idea what we were doing. We were like, we want something that doesn't taste like alcohol.
yeah,
That's what we
and
said.
in reality, I didn't know if I'd ever see them again. I mean, but the next day, I just happened to be at work, and on my lunch break, I went over to the grocery store, and I was looking at the food that they had there.
And we had worked, me and my roommate had worked at the grocery store.
Yeah, and you worked in the deli.
And I had worked there for 12 years.
So I went back there to the deli to look for something to eat, and this one says to me, "How about some Chinese food?" And I was like, "No, I don't like that." And then she's, "Well, how about some Thai food?" "No, I don't eat that either." So I grabbed a sub and I threw it up on the counter, paid for it, and walked out the door. And when I got outside, I was like, "Well, you dummy, she was hitting on you." So I turned around and I went back in the store, grabbed myself an iced tea, threw that up on the counter, handed her the money, and she says, "Well, that'll be like $1 or whatever." And she has my money and she's going like this. And I'm like, already gave you the money. And she's like, "Oh, oh my God." And
I was totally flustered. Yeah, I couldn't believe he turned around and came back in.
so
Oh,
we met that night for coffee and we talked for what, 4 or 5 hours at least.
yeah.
Um,
At least, yeah, 4 or 5 hours in the parking lot.
yeah, and then, the rest is kind of history.
Yeah, our first conversation had nothing to do with our previous married lives. It
No,
had to do with our childhood, our
family.
grandparents, our family, what our hopes and aspirations were. It was just, it was beautiful. It
Yeah.
was like I was talking to somebody I knew for, I've always known. And I was talking to this guy for the first time.
Well, and it's kind of funny because um, all the advice I had received as a kid, um, everything from um, don't marry a woman based on her looks. There's got to be something more than that because the looks and all that go away. I didn't listen, but it
Was
is
that
what it is.
you were just attracted because I was pretty.
Yeah,
I was his cup of cuppa.
yeah.
Yeah, he always said that he liked that.
Norma said that's so romantic. Oh,
Ah, get out of here. But yeah, that's how we met.
yep.
And then one of our first dates, um, I asked you to take me to a doctor's appointment, and then I told
Well,
him.
so to kind of set the table for this, um, Stephanie is not a one, not a two, not a three, but a four-time cancer survivor. Now, there's some magic to this story. Um, she doesn't care to share it sometimes. I share it all over the place because I'm like, people need to know, and it gives people hope. So,
So, so um, I asked Lee if he would take me to have a mastectomy, and so that was our first conversation about the cancer. So this was my second bout with it.
that was your second bout with breast cancer. It was the fourth time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Do you need me to talk through it?
oh,
You got it.
I don't know if they want to know
Yes,
this.
they do.
So I don't talk about it because it's a thing that was described to me some time ago that it's like survivor's guilt. It's like you don't talk about it because you feel guilty, and then at some point I had to learn to let go of things that I felt guilty about in my past, and that happened to be one of them. So now I can talk about it. I just I just don't like to talk about it.
Right. So we had got up that morning, and that voice in the back of your head or in your gut where you know something even though you shouldn't know it. Well, I had that. It was like I heard a voice, and the voice told me, Don't worry, nothing's going to happen today because the cancer's gone. I told her what I heard. And of course she wasn't very happy with me.
I started shutting down because all I heard was, "Oh, here's this guy. I knew he wasn't gonna hang tight through this. You know, nobody's gonna hang tight through this." And then he's telling me that what you don't got what you think you got. You know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all worked up. I'm ready to go have this taken care of.
Right. So we get to the hospital. They take her back right away, and I'm in the waiting room 4 hours. And during those 4 hours, it was like I had the little devil and the little angel sitting on my shoulders, whispering in my ears the whole time. Um, One doom and gloom, the other voice, I told you everything's going to be fine, calm down. After 4 hours, a nurse comes out and she is like, "You have been here all day. Who are you here with?" So I told her, and she said, "Well, I think she's done. Follow me." So we get through this double set of doors, and at the end of the hall is the doctor's office. Sitting on one side of the desk is the doctor, and sitting on the other side of the desk is Stephanie. And they're ha 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 ha. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's not somebody that just went through surgery. So I get to the room. The doctor says, "Oh, please come in, have a seat." She says, "Now, because of my profession, I'm not really allowed to say this, but it's nothing short of a miracle. The cancer is gone." So, cancer, a tumor the size of a quarter, in 2 weeks, praise God, disappeared. And Stephanie has been cancer free now for almost 20 years. So the power of prayer,
Yeah,
the
there.
power of God, and we didn't really know God back then.
Well, of course not. No, no. We knew of God, but we didn't know Him,
Yeah,
and we didn't know that He was gonna save my life one day. You know,
yeah,
but He saved my life over and over again. But now I know that
right.
He saved my life from suicide attempts. He saved my life from car accidents. He saved my life,
Depression.
certainly,
Yeah,
depression, and of course the cancer.
yeah.
So that's how that wound up. That was the start of a very strong um, relationship.
Yeah, and I'll even take it as far as if you don't know God, if this story doesn't get you to look him up, I don't, I don't know what to say.
He works for me.
Um, I went 50 some years denying. I always believed in a God, but it was like, whatever, them church nuts, blah, blah, blah. Until I started seeing the miracles for myself. And then it was like, oh, wow, this is bigger than me.
Yeah. Well, I still don't believe that God's in a church. I believe God's in your heart, and whoever that is to you, you can call him whatever you want. He's got many names, and he's in your heart. That's how I roll.
Yeah, so,
So, but that was significant. But that was a turnaround 20 years ago when we met.
yeah. And,
For
and that's kind of the foundation that our relationship's been on because when we got together, I was paying out so much in child support and everything else that I had nothing. And it was like she's sticking with me with nothing, and I'm sticking with her with all the cancer and the depression, and we did, and
and we
that's
did,
yeah,
and we did, and we did.
yeah,
It was just meant to be. There, it's not always meant to be that your significant other is supposed to be there till death do you part. I think that's bullcrap. I do. I think it's bullcrap. It's just words that you say, when you say you get married to somebody. But to me, um, there's a plan. There is a plan for your life for people to be on your path. And there was the baby daddies, and then there was there's
me.
this guy. He carries you through.
And in reality, broken people are the only ones who can help other broken people. That is how it is in my relationship too.
That's fair to say. I mean,
Wow.
who else
Yeah.
has the empathy? Who else
Yeah.
has that knowing? You got that knowing. That's one step in the door to a relationship.
Yeah. And
We were
and
there at that same time for each other.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, this is Heather, by the way.
Oh, hey, Heather. Hi, darling. Thank you for showing up. Hi, honey.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing. Um,
A lot of these people, with the exception of Norma, who is a lifelong friend from Pennsylvania, these people are people that we have met since our um, platform with the YouTube channel.
yeah. So I'm just gonna put it out there like this. Even if you never make a penny on YouTube, our YouTube channel has been such a blessing just because of the people that we've met.
Friendships.
Yes.
Friendships that are forever. Whether you see these people every day or you ever get to meet them in real life, doesn't matter.
Right.
These are connections that you made because we were supposed to make these connections.
One of the first videos we ever did.
Oh, it's been beautiful.
We did one at Mom Pa's restaurant, which is only a couple minutes from our house, and we love Mom Pa's restaurant on Asheville Highway, by the way, in Greenville. Um, we did a video there, and a guy from Colorado had commented and said, "Hey, I grew up in Greenville. You should do a video on Viking Mountain." Well, I didn't even know where Viking Mountain was, but I found out, and we took a trip up there one day,
You did.
and we just happened to run into the only other people up there, which was this other couple.
And their dog.
Yeah, and they were like, "Hey, did you find a church yet?" And no.
Which was a very commonly asked question.
Yes, yes.
You know, being new to the area.
But I mean, they're like our best friends now.
Yeah.
That's how we found our church, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're close by. They live in the same town that we lived in.
Yeah. So it's
Good
been
stuff.
it's been the friendships that every one of you have, all the comments, all of it, the support has been awesome and wonderful, and we I don't know that we could appreciate it enough, really.
Dude, okay, so are
Lee, are
you
you gonna ever let your hair down? I can.
it's so sexy, God. It's so
It's
gorgeous.
it's receding.
It's so gorgeous and sexy. So if
But-
you have ever been to see TSO, it's like they all look like this. Okay, all the TSO band members look like this. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Okay.
The thing is, I don't have the
You-
rock and roll voice.
You
I
can,
don't.
you
I
he
don't.
can still do it.
I have more of
He does it for me.
I have more of the Bowser from Shauna Na voice. That's more my. Just can't hit anything high anymore. Too many years of smoking. Don't start smoking, for God's sake.
Yeah, you know, some people might think you look like the creepy guy from.
Only if I'm driving a van. What Russo said, what was it that attracted you to Greenville instead of some other area?
Okay, well,
And Norma said, "Wow, that long hair, you look great."
she ought to know. She's got herself a man with some long hair too.
Greenville.
Okay, Greenville. So let's talk about that. Greenville, East Tennessee. So this area has everything. It has the quiet out of the way, and it has the convenience, and it doesn't have the pretentiousness of. There's no Snobville. I mean, I'm sure there is, but there's a lot of towns that we've been to that have a Snobville. I don't know. That's just a Steph-N-Lee's word. So,
Yeah, so she speaks Steph-N-Lee's, in case you wonder.
Snobville is like where you just like, oh hell no, I'm not gonna. I would never live here. I couldn't
Keep up with the Joneses.
I couldn't keep. I wouldn't want to. I don't drink enough wine or whatever, you know.
Well, our original plan was to live within an hour of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Um, we actually looked at houses in Sevierville. We looked at houses in, well, even as far away as uh oh my goodness,
Taswell,
Tazewell. Um,
New Taswell.
yeah, yeah, Sneedville.
So Sneedville, yes, we
Yeah,
certainly did. We looked at this area because we wanted to still be in a manageable amount of time away from central Pennsylvania to get to our parents if we needed to.
right.
And we had come to East Tennessee for vacation for what we call our mental renewal, our
Yeah,
spiritual renewal, twice a year, every year for
yep,
10 years.
yeah. So
So doing that, we knew when we first started coming here that this is where we would wind up. We had gone prior to that and took our vacations to Williamsburg. We've been to
mhm,
Williamsburg in every season. We've seen it at Christmas time. We've seen it
yeah.
at Fourth of July. We've been there for everything.
Which one day I would like to do a video there. At Christmas time in Williamsburg, they have the grand illumination, and it is something to see. I mean,
It's moving. It like
yes,
moves you so beautifully. Um, it's not the founding father kind of thing, but it's the
it's close.
closest thing to founding father um, excitement. You know.
Mike Brown says we are moving to Tennessee in the spring next year, and we are from Gettysburg. Was it hard trying to find a house? We've been looking in the Morristown area. Is that a nice area? It seemed nice to us.
So, okay, so we can only give you our opinions
Right,
and what we've learned since we've been down here. We really recommend that you do your own research. It helps to have boots on the ground no matter what we tell you.
right. So I will say this. Morristown isn't terrible, but if I had to pick, I would pick.
Do you have a nickname for Morristown?
I do, but I'm not going to share it because I don't feel like getting beat up. So, uh, I mean, Morristown has mall and it has some things that aren't in other areas, but um, yeah, yeah. There we go. Heather said Morristown. No, yeah, no. I would stick with Jonesboro, Greenville, um, maybe the outskirts of Newport.
I would say if you're coming from Gettysburg, Morristown is a far cry from what you're going to be aligned with.
Yeah,
So if you're coming from Gettysburg, you'd be more aligned going to Jonesboro,
yes,
going to
very historic area.
Greenville,
Yep.
um, and maybe Johnson City.
Yeah, and I would have said Irwin, um,
But Irwin was hit
Roan
very,
Mountain,
very hard.
but those
Those
places
areas,
were really,
the quaintest, most impressive, loving, family-oriented towns are have recently just or they're gone.
yeah. Now, if you like Mexican food a lot, um, Morristown, I mean, it kind of fits, if that's a hint. That's as much of an answer as I'll give. But yeah, there's a lot nicer places. Even some spots around Johnson City, Elizabethton,
Elizabethton's beautiful,
they're
yeah,
really nice.
and quaint,
Yeah,
very historic. When you get closer to where we're at here in Greenville, everything's Davy Crockett.
yeah.
You know, this was his childhood area.
And even living, so we're in Greenville. We're actually in South Green. Um, of course, we didn't find a house in Cott County, but just on a few things with like the wheel tax and stuff like that, I would prefer to be over in Cott County, actually around
Yep,
Newport.
everything does pivot on its own county.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Parrotsville's not bad. Very small, but not bad. It's at least close enough to other things.
Well, I hope you do find a house that you're looking for,
Yeah,
and it won't be easy. It just won't, and especially if you're looking via Skyping or drones, or you can't see what you need to see unless you got boots on the ground.
Yeah. And I'll tell you,
It's getting into the places.
yeah, some of them. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Even okay, so this house we bought was vacant for 3 years.
Neglected for a lot longer than that.
Yes, and
We had snakes living in the house. We had trees growing in the front and the back of the house.
yeah, it was
It
bad.
removed the porch by trees pushing up through the porch. Took the deck out.
You're welcome, Mike. Yeah, if you want to know what true love looks like, it's if your wife's willing to go potty in a bucket for you for about a week.
Yeah. Well, as long as you kept taking me out to eat for 14 days.
So, Russo just he nailed it. I mean, I think you should get a prize for this actually, but
What a mess.
I do call Morristown Little Mexico.
That's
I
what he
do.
says, and he said he wasn't going to say it out loud.
And not taken away from it. I mean, like, hey, I like some Mexican food, and actually,
Something else you need to know: there are a lot of farms, tomato farms, tobacco farms, um,
out that way.
cornfields. There's soybean. So
Hmm.
there are a lot of farms which migrant workers do maintain out there. So
Right. Yeah. Any other questions? Or we can just keep rambling.
this is fun.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Stephanie was very scared and worried about doing a live, or we would have done one a lot sooner.
Yeah, Tex Mexican.
Yeah, Mexitown. Yeah. I mean, and not that, I mean, I don't have any problem there. We've been there a lot,
Yeah,
but
the videos that we show, it doesn't, of course, all show that, but a lot of things that we have highlighted, it is straight up. It's straight up, and I don't.
yeah,
It's not
you feel like you're in
just
Mexico.
so you're aware that it's not like no. If you're in Mexico, they're gonna approach you and they're gonna touch you so they can tie the bracelets on you
Oh,
and
to get your
steal your.
money.
It's been there, done that, and that is a real thing. No, you don't. You won't see any of that. But
No, no, no. In fact, everybody that we've run into in Morristown has been super
yeah,
nice.
brush up on your Spanish. That's all.
Yeah,
You're good.
yeah. Uh, they are totally fine. Never had a problem there with the Hispanics, but it is very ethnic there. Yes, yes, definitely. Norma said, do we still have coyotes?
Girlfriend, honey,
Overrun.
they just you just wake up in the middle of the night because you hear this howling, and they're right outside. Yeah, we're on a rock. We're on a solid rock mountain cliff. Okay, that's where our house is located.
So, so literally, if I go outside right now, unfortunately, the camera and the phones don't pick it up very well. But if I hear them over here, they're over here. They're across the street. They're behind the house. It's like they're completely surround us every night, howling and carrying on.
Yes,
Um,
we have game cams. Yes,
Lee should be out there pew pewing them. Um,
we can shoot them if they come on our property, but
yeah, we only have an acre and a half.
you know.
Now we're surrounded by woods and fields, and but it's
Yeah, you just got to be mindful of which way you point the gun.
yeah,
The car and the tires are over here at that point, and I mean, they hang around, they pee on your tires. You don't aim the gun at your.
yeah. So I mean, sometimes I can just walk out the front door, and like especially in the morning or right in the
Hmm.
evening, and they'll be running across the yard. It's like
Yeah,
it's insane.
but we see every kind of wildlife out our door, on our deck, on our porch, out the back, and
Yeah,
there's groundhogs, raccoons,
possum,
opossums, rats,
bears,
bunnies, bear,
deer.
deer,
Don't see that many deer.
stray cats,
So this is something too to know, Mike. I don't know if you hunt or
coyotes.
not, but in Pennsylvania, you'll know. I mean, you drive past any field in Pennsylvania, and it's like loaded with deer. You don't see that many down here, at least not in East Tennessee.
Yeah, if you're moving from for the people that were moving from Gettysburg to East Tennessee, don't be just come prepared. You're moving to
To
into
another country.
it is if you
Yeah.
you just gotta go with it. This is a completely different topographical place than Pennsylvania. It's not the Allegheny Mountains, okay? We are talking about the Great Smokies.
You also have a wild cat in your house too. Yes, I don't know where she's hiding.
She's always hiding lately. I don't know. I don't know. She's hot. It's hot in the house.
Yeah. Well,
It's like 81 here.
it's November. I took out the air conditioners and then
Oh gosh.
anything above 50 degrees, Stephanie's like, it's hot.
I need a bag of peas or something, right?
Oh,
I think
my
I'm gonna go
goodness.
get one.
Yeah, so
I think of a Brussels sprouts.
it is kind of funny because I had said to some of my friends down here, I thought we were moving to the moonshine capital of the world, and they were like, "Yeah, we're sorry, Lee. This is kind of the meth capital of the world.
Um,
It's not that bad, but
so
there is issues with it."
well, we worked in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We saw drugs, but we never saw what meth looked like. I mean, I don't know if I was just that naive. I didn't realize that that's what meth looked like. When we moved down here, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
So
But a lot of the homeless that we've run into have that issue. But there are that many churches and organizations that support, clothe, feed, and educate, and try to save these people from
yeah.
themselves too
So
down here.
so Heather says slow and very rural. Sometimes hard to find people to come do work at your house, but East Tennessee is
Hmm.
quiet and laid back. Yes.
Yes. Yep, that's another thing. Yes.
And uh, if you're not doing the work yourself
Be
to your
very
house,
mindful.
be very careful with contractors
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah. Do your research.
Yeah. Ask somebody that's from here to recommend somebody or, that kind of thing.
And if you don't have a contingency plan, have one just for the people that don't show up.
Yeah.
Just have a contingency plan in your budget.
And Heather said churches on every corner. Yes.
So we have 7 churches on our
Road.
road alone,
Yeah.
and they're all different.
Yep. One that does kind of strike me. We're gonna have to visit some of them. But there's a cowboy church. I had never heard of a cowboy church until we got here.
So apparently you can ride your horse to church. That's a thing.
I should have worn my cowboy hat.
Yeah, and well, it's just like you're on cowboy time. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? It's a come as you are church, but it's also the cowboy has to get up, do what it has to do, and then he'll get to church. Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of a um, laid back. Everybody at church understands something different at a cowboy church. It's like if you don't have horses, you might not get it.
Right.
Okay, that's all I have to say about that.
And I
Do your
will
research.
and I will admit Lee never really went to church ever.
Mm-mm.
You couldn't drag me into one.
You get so mad.
But then, we got here and it was like, you know what? I think I need to go and I'm glad I did. Oh, and Dollar General's on every corner.
Yeah, Dollar General's a real thing. I don't know if their home office is here in
Yes,
Tennessee somewhere
it
that
is.
it's so significant, but it's a form of employment here, and I
Well, and
wouldn't,
it's nice
and I don't hate on
sometimes
it. They're so much neater and cleaner
than they were in
than they were in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Like the people, everybody's welcoming. They're like happy to be employed. That's genuinely what I've noticed versus coming from Pennsylvania.
Where everybody's miserable.
You couldn't get the kid bagging your veggies to crack a smile if you were trying to make them laugh, or saying thank you and you got to return you're welcome, ma'am. None of that. None of that in Pennsylvania. Here, yes, ma'am, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
God bless you. Have a blessed day. It's genuine down here.
Yeah,
It's like that's how they learned how to talk.
right. Yeah, they actually have morals and values and those kind of things.
Hmm. I like it. I like it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's I'm sure just as many little disrespectful little shits out there, but for the most part, their mom and daddy are gonna, and nobody's gonna say anything. Nobody's gonna say, "Oh, I can't believe you just hit your own kid." That's
Uh,
funny.
See, I never had to hit any kids because I just used my booming voice, and we have a few kids right now laughing, probably.
Yeah.
Or they'll laugh when they
Oh
see this.
yeah, it really bothered us, Mom, when Lee used to use his booming voice.
And if someone waves while they drive past you, you got to wave back. Yes.
Yep,
And
true
so
that.
so there's things of waving also. So
Give
there's
him the
now
lowdown.
you got to
This
you
is
got
the
to
steering
yeah,
wheel.
this is the steering wheel. Hi. How are y'all? How's mom and them? So that's now you know.
He always says that. Oh my god! And he goes through the hi or
How
hey
you doing?
y'all.
Yeah. How's mom and them?
Like it's a different wave.
Yes, Russo. Yes. Russo said everybody seemed depressed when I went to Pennsylvania.
It's true.
It's dark and gloomy. Yep.
It's so true. I mean, it's just a different spirituality here in the Smokies. I believe that it rests. I believe that there's power in rocks and stones, and of course, there's energy in those things. God created them for a purpose. So, of course, you're going to have that kind of energy here in the Smokies.
I wish Norma could share Jim's dad had a look.
Had a look.
Yeah.
Yep, the look. Yep.
But yeah, it's been a huge blessing, and I used to always tell the kids, chase your dreams, don't be afraid to fail, and I wasn't taking my own advice, and I was like, you know what, I played it safe my whole life. I'm sick of this crap, bull crap. I'm retiring early. We'll do what we can. If I have to, I didn't know. And I may still need to go get a full-time job, and these videos might go to like one a month.
We're still learning.
But
We're still learning what's our purpose is,
yeah,
and where we're supposed to be at this time on our path.
right. But I just try to.
Another reason why we moved from Pennsylvania to Tennessee in the timing that we did was because um, every year on New Year's,
we
uh,
we love you too, D.
every year New Year's, Lee and I would sit down at the table New Year's Day
Hmm.
and get the calendar and write everything down that we could think of, from oil change in the car to changing the batteries in the smoke detectors to birthdays to special events that we knew were coming up, and we put everything
And
down.
goals for the year.
And I was getting there, and goals for the year, and we would project them on and write them down and fill in the calendar
Yep.
on New Year's Day every year that you and I were together.
Yes.
And the last 2 years that we lived in that house, we didn't do it. And we asked ourselves, I guess we don't need to do it. We've done everything. The
Yeah.
house maxed itself out. We just did everything for that house,
Yeah. There really
for the
wasn't.
property, for ourselves. We just put everything that we had projected into it. There was no more money or energy that would benefit from us doing anything else. And we were just, you've kind of got that what now feeling, like just waiting for something else to come along,
Yeah.
and it just, the timing just took a turn where our jobs, my health failed.
Yeah.
My
So
health failed again. I was
pinched nerve in the lower spine does not do well for.
It set the tone for a major flare in my poor health, and it set the tone for 3 more years. And it was during COVID, so there was no like recouping and having it go back to normal anyway.
Right. And this kind of really sucks to a degree, but they had misdiagnosed her for years, um, until they figured out what was going on, and so many different kind of medicines they were trying, thinking it was different problems. It
Well,
was
I
a
was all
mess.
about, at that time, I was all about being a experiment. So I was on experimental drugs for
Yeah.
cancer.
So Norma said, "What you guys did with your current house is absolutely gorgeous."
Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. This is the new
Yeah.
us. This is the new us. We
Yeah.
grew out of the old, and this is what we reinvented ourselves, didn't we, honey?
Right. So this is my home interior decorator. She is for hire. Uh, and then, she just tells me what she wants and then I do it.
That
Um,
is such bull. I want all these little cute knickknacks at every one of these antique stores. I want them. And he's like, place and purpose. And so
yeah.
that is not true. He doesn't say that, he just gets it for me. And every once in a while, yeah, of course he does. Because, I just quit smoking. It would make it doubly bad on him.
But she's doing good with the quitting smoking.
Yeah, yeah. So I just treated myself to a shopping spree at the candy store because
Yes.
I quit smoking.
Which that video will post Sunday.
I'm 57, and I've
Hmm.
been
We'll
smoke.
be
I'll be
57.
57, and I've been smoking since I was 15.
Yep. But finally quit.
Woohoo!
Heather said, "Yay, that is awesome. I love to hear this."
Oh, I love saying it out loud.
Now,
It makes me believe it better.
Lee's still smoking. Um, but I cut it back. I was a pack and a half a day. I've cut that back to a pack lasts me like 3 days
Oh, there's
now.
our cat. She was sitting in the chair
Oh,
she's under the table in the chair. Yeah, and you don't smoke around me. Doesn't
no,
smoke in the house.
nope.
So what
Or in the
happened?
car.
So since I quit smoking, I got a issue. I had an issue. I walked into my house and everything smelt bad. And I was apologizing. I called my kids and I was apologizing to my kids because I realized, I never realized this before, but I was crying because every time I got in an elevator, all those people that didn't smoke, I mean, that was me. That was what I was smelling when I walked in. I was so embarrassed for all those years that I did that. And then to my kids, for them having to, I'd go to their teacher conference and I would be smelling like smoke. How embarrassing. But here, um, I walked into the house and I mean, well, I don't have anything to do with myself because I normally, if it bothered me, I would just go smoke a cigarette. Right? So now I don't have anything to do with myself. So I got a little OCD, or
Hmm.
you would call it that, and anxious. And so I started ripping down all the curtains and the tablecloth and the shower curtains and the
All your
towels and
clothes.
all my clothes in the drawers in the closet. Anything that I could put in the washing machine, I did put in the washing machine, and I washed it twice. So that was a little OCD, and I wound up breaking the dryer. I think the dryer was like,
It did it.
lady, please.
I mean, like, look, we got it used,
I
but
I
it burned it up.
Yeah, I would have hung more things outside. I mean, that's normally what I would have done. But then it's ladybug, stink bug season, and so I was just, I could not see bringing all that back in and getting ladybugs and stink bugs back there.
Oh
But I'm
my
so much
goodness.
better now. I'm not that OCD, but
Yeah, and you've been quit for what? 3 weeks?
I don't,
Yeah,
I don't,
about
I
three
don't
weeks
even
now.
know.
Yeah.
I don't
So
even know.
and not driving me crazy anymore. It was, "Oh, I want to smoke a cigarette." I'd be like, "No."
You kept telling me to tell you
Mm-hmm.
to talk to you, tell you, talk to me.
Yep.
Just don't go leave, just talk to me. So I would scream at him. I am so mad right now.
Can you picture her screaming? I actually have seen her scream at other people, but not me.
No,
No,
no.
no. So,
Is this what
so
you guys signed up for tonight for a live? I mean,
yeah, for
really? Oh
real.
my God.
So yeah, and we're Keep doing what you're doing. I love your videos. Thank you, Dee. And we love Roscoe's Treasures, which if you are in Newport, near Newport, coming through Newport, whatever, need to take a 5-hour detour to get to Newport, stop at Roscoe's Treasures.
And advocate the small businesses in these towns that are coming back from Hurricane Helene.
Yes. Yeah, that it still breaks my heart driving around. I,
It's been 5 weeks, 6 weeks now, and there are still towns that are just now getting their infrastructure put back together. Just
yeah,
now.
well, there's still people living in
But
tents.
guess what? It isn't the government, it isn't the federal government coming to save these people. There are
No.
still people coming from other states and other counties offering and volunteering their
Yeah.
time and equipment
Yeah.
to these people who are in need.
Right.
It's neighbor helping neighbor.
Yes.
That's the way it'll always be. So if you're dependent on the government, all I can say is, oh my God, it sucks to be you right now. I mean, I'm so sorry for you.
So Heather said, I'm so proud of both of you. This is a hard thing to overcome. And she also said, proud of Lee for dealing with it and proud of you, Steph, for making that step.
I'm so glad.
Mike Fast said, my wife and I live way over in Washington State. We watched your videos leading up to our first visit to Tennessee for our 9th anniversary. Congratulations on your
Cool.
9th anniversary. And we look forward to seeing more videos. We love you too.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah. I've never had this many people love me in my whole life. I can be
No,
honest.
no, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that we're doing something that other people like, but for reals, we're just doing us.
Yeah.
We're just being who we would normally be. And
You will never, ever catch us lie. If I see something, we're somewhere and I don't like it, or
he'll tell you, and then he'll have to edit out how he told you.
yes, sometimes that happens.
An example being, if we were to see graffiti on the cabins in the cove.
We have.
And
So this is what I have said, and I'll tone it down a bit, but so we were, of course, in Cades Cove, and one of the cabins had like stuff spray painted everywhere, people's names and stuff, and that goes right through me. When I seen that, I was like, if I would have caught the person who did it, they would be eating the paint can. And if they said, no, I'm not eating the paint can, I would say, I have this pew pew on my side that begs to differ. So you're doing one of the two.
he would.
Lee is not necessarily always politically correct, and a lot of times I have to edit out what I say. But it's just, I hate to see stuff like that. We lose so much of our history to begin with, just, from time and wear and tear, and then it's like, you have somebody that's got, they got to carve their name into something. It's like, really? Do a YouTube video on the thing, and, so you don't forget, or whatever. Pee on it, leave your scent there. I don't know, but painting on it's just stupid.
Oh, thank you, and thank you, Dee. Yep. I think
Russo said, what happened to all of the pervs that were on earlier today, and where did they come from?
Earlier today, Lee and I, this is the first time we've ever done a live.
Right, so we did a test run.
We did a test run, and Russo was on with us earlier saying, hi, guys.
Right.
And there was quite a few pervy comments made.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know what to expect when we got
Yeah, I like it.
when we were going to do this live tonight. Thank God. Thank God my people showed up instead of the pervs.
And Dee said, congratulations on not smoking and happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. It feels good. I was like, that and the candy was a birthday present to myself, not smoking anymore.
Yeah, this one got 8 more days and it's her birthday.
57-ish.
Yeah, without the ish.
Without it.
Now the funny thing is I look, what 10 years older? And I'm actually younger. Not 10 years younger.
5.
Yeah, 5. Yep.
He's a puppy.
Still wet.
Thank you.
There's another happy birthday early.
Yes.
Yeah, so, um, wow, we went an hour. So I think we're going to wrap it up here unless somebody has anything else that's pressing.
You got any more questions for us? We could do another live.
Mm-hmm.
If this worked out for you guys, if this was fun,
Yeah, we could do them once a week, maybe.
It's just like you guys are sitting here with us, around the dinner table, because this is what we
Yeah.
normally would do. We'd probably have a game of Rummy Cube going on over here in the corner, and the guys would be over here talking.
Russo said it's amazing people have so much extra money for vandalism. Amen. And
That's my girl Norma's gonna have a birthday too, Sue.
yep, hers is November 26th. And Heather, I love you guys. Keep up the great work. We're
Thank
gonna
you,
try,
Heather.
and we need to come back up there and see you to visit. And we also need to do a better updated video of Mahala Mullen's cabin.
Yep, we absolutely do. We want to come and visit and take a walk around your property, Heather. And I want a lesson in making tinctures, the things that I really want to do. And we're connected. I've got so many soul sisters out there.
Yep. She said, sounds great. Come on up. So, well, we hope you enjoyed this hour and a minute and 20 some seconds and counting.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow, time just flew, honey.
Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for showing up, talking with us.
Means so much.
Yep. We love getting comments. We actually, you heard her. We love doing this. So expect a few more lives. And until next time,
Have a Steph-N-Lee day. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Now I got to figure out how to stop this.
Press them all. Press them all.
Nope, there it is.